Getting to know the story behind the headlines. Akron News Now reports with more depth on the stories you need to know on WAKR News Now.
Cuyahoga Falls football fans' use of the hashtag #RapeStowe could be an example of how aggressive communication can have far-reaching effects. Dr. Andrew Rancer, a professor at the University of Akron and an expert on aggressive communication, says it's no surprise that it happened through social media rather than more traditional forms of communication.
The social media is ubiquitous. It's the medium of choice for young people today, and they could hide behind their aliases, etc., and engage in this type of aggressive communication where they don't have to physically face the other individual face to face and engage in physical aggression. But when people engage in too much verbal aggression, the level of frustration still exists, and one way that it comes out is through physical aggression. We've always had these crosstown rivalries, which have been accompanied in the past by the use of profanity and threats and teasing, but the choice or the use of that word that you had referred to earlier, I believe, goes well beyond the more normative use of profanity and vulgarity that we're used to hearing in these type of episodes.
So why do people communicate in an aggressive manner? Rancer says there are a number of reasons, starting with social learning.
When kids grow up in an environment where there is a lot of verbal aggression, a lot of use of profanity, teasing, ridicule, put-downs, competence attacks, character attacks, they learn this type of communication behavior. So social learning, and of course through the media. With all kinds of media now allowing a type of verbal aggression to come through, they learn it that way as well. Certainly, we believe that there is some research out there that suggests that genetics may play a role in terms of brain functioning. Genetics influences brain functioning, and brain functioning influences communication behavior. And there's certainly other causes, such as disdain. When you severely dislike or hate someone, you're more likely to use verbal aggression. But we believe that there's one major cause that we believe we can handle, and that is what we have labeled an argumentative skill deficiency. When individuals lack the skill and ability to argue constructively, when they lack the ability to generate arguments on the fly, and frustration continues in a conflict situation, they quickly resort to verbal aggression. So they may throw out an argument or two, and then when their arguments are exhausted and they cannot generate additional arguments, they then resort to verbally aggressive communication.
And he says one of the big dangers is that language choices influence behavior, so inappropriate language can lead to inappropriate behavior. I'm Chris Kepler, AkronNewsNow.com.
More news, weather, sports, business, entertainment, and community on AkronNewsNow.com and always on WAKR News Now.